Thank you, DJ Subrosa, for that beautiful set. And we are coming back into the second map between KOVA and Apeks. Now, Apex's map pick on Mirage was stolen away by the Finnish side. And now KOVA are looking on their own map pick. So I think things are going according to plan for a potential 2-0 here, unless Apeks has something up their sleeves. For now, it is going to be Nuke. The knife round is almost finished. As soon as the side choices happen, we will go straight into the action to see it unfold in front of our own very own eyes. And I think we're ready to go. Mel, kick the show. Let's start the action.
Where are we thinking then? I'm gonna throw you under the bus here. Who's gonna win Nuke?
Oof. Well, if KOVA is playing the same way they did in this last map, I'm leaning heavily to them. But this is CT side Nuke, right? And I think the first 5 rounds here will decide my opinion. I need to see some sign of life from Apeks.
Fair enough, fair enough. Now, look, you got to remember, KOVA played up against Secret. They started out on the T side, and they got 3 rounds. Game ended, 16-12. So their CT side is solid. We know that for sure. This is going to be a big test for them. I want to see them finish above 6. And that's a big ask when Apeks is just popping heads like that. Rushing on out. Things were looking good, but KOVA now bomb dropped in the open. Faction's coming around to support Apeks. Needs to be wary of his back. In just a second, he should have the read that they could be coming up behind him. Please have the read that they... Oh, no, wait, sorry. It's being watched by Gruss. I'm completely blind. Gruss is very low HP, so can't afford to really take many fights, but...
Exactly, but Akez's position is almost perfect for this, right? He's holding... Oh, okay, now unless he falls right here. But there it is. Faction eliminates Uli, and now it's just Peku, 2 HP. Gets 1 consolation, perhaps, with the bomb. It still needs to be recovered in a single bullet here from Apeks. We'll put an end to this one. And there it is. And you know, Mitch, I'm thinking this map is... Or this series, rather. It has been the Screw the Casters series, because every time you think something is unfolding in a specific way, no. A player has something else up their sleeves. A reversal, an Uno reversal, every time.
No, you're not wrong, man. Every single time that we think something's going a certain way, not even we think, just logically, that's the way it should be rolling. Nope. It flips on its head. A 1-0 for Apeks, which means KOVA are going to win this round. They've got pistols and armor. We've seen them do it before, and logic conveys that Apeks should be winning this one. Maybe not so cleanly because it is a force buy, but still coming out on top. Gruss is all alone on ramp. He has got no support, and they're all outside right behind that smoke. He bails down, though. He heard the flashes. He knows what's going on. Drops the molly behind him to slow down that push. Scout goes out a little bit too wide. Marcelius has to back off. Remember, he was 1 in 7 for opening duels on the previous map. So this is not the time to get aggressive and try to open the round for his team. KOVA have bought so much information at this point. Apeks have no idea where they are. There's a huge amount of the map that's blacked off.
Now, there are still 2 defenders right here. And the flashes, I think they'll come in through the roof here shortly for KOVA. And it's not quite good enough, right? If I can down the door, but the hut coming... Okay, 1 kill. Oh, Nick, that 2. Right, there is a smoke and a Molotov. They can easily cut off the angles, and Marcelius finally is getting a little bit of his confidence back. Mitch Truth is just waiting down below in the vents, so that Spy Tola pretty much stuck on site now, forced to plant the bomb, and he's just gonna go. Oh, yeah, not the best time. And from all directions, that is what I call a collapse. Apeks 2-0, messy, but bomb plant denied, economy denied for KOVA, and an opportunity here for the Norwegian side to get things rolling, get things into motion here.
I believe there was a Molotov up above in heaven, and he just got a little bit worried. He didn't have time to go around to default, and the molly would have faded by that point, by the time he would have finished planting. So, got a little bit panicked, planted where absolutely every angle could see him. Didn't work out predictably, and Apeks now on 2-0. They did a lot of damage. They received a lot of damage in the previous round, but KOVA now on pistols. This should be the opportunity for the CTs to build up that cash flow. Gruss falls, which doesn't help the situation. You can't really afford to lose another player here. We want to be keeping over these weapons if you're going in for a bonus round in the next. Brad with a second as well in the SMG. He dies. Not the best of situations again. KOVA into a 2 versus 3. They've got an M4 picked up. They've got armor on that player as well. They're spotted coming down the ramp, but the bomb plant should be secured. You've got double doors just about to be taken. They're moving in together as well, clearing out this part of the map. Marcelius is in a lot of danger. He's got himself an SMG, finds 1, but that armor on third keeps him alive. A second, almost in play. And look at the damage, man. Apeks, they survive with both their rifles, but those players having to reinvest up means if they lose this one here, that's KOVA kicking down the door and waltzing on through.
Yeah, KOVA set themselves up pretty nicely, actually, for this early first half. Yes, they're 3 rounds down, but now they have full loss bonus. As long as they sustain bomb plants and keep the economic pressure up, that could easily be a double eco for the Apeks economy, and easily be the game kind of turning back into their favor. Right now, it's Marcelius, who no longer on the scout. He does have the big green stick now, looking for those early picks, of course, and 1 for 7 in duels in the earlier map. That does not inspire confidence, but I have seen him perform, right? We've all seen him kind of pop off. He has that potential. He just got to regain his confidence and refine his stride here early on.
Remember, like I said, KOVA lost 16-12 here, but they started with 3 out of 15 rounds on the T side. So Apeks have got to be constantly wary that on their opponent's map pick, that CT side is going to be very convincing. But we do need to see more from them on the attack. Marcelius holding a pixel angle, just trying to maintain outside control. The smokes coming over are going to make sure that that's not a possibility anymore. Well executed Molotov down in secret. Now KOVA have got the control. Marcelius not showing his cards just yet, hoping they'd get aggressive, but those smokes are for secret, and KOVA are using them accordingly. Going down for that control, leaving Uli up above ramp, and he'll later on push down to try and pincer that player and cut off the rotate.
35 seconds left on the clock. As soon as they make a single, they show themselves very exposed, but it's going to be Truth finding 2 kills in what should have been a one-and-done position, so we're already off to a good start here for Apeks as they continue to hold. Uli, the lurk, has eliminated. Ruse does fall on sight, but still, Apeks are in a great position. They're a man up. They have control of ramp. They denied the lurk. And that pretty much solidifies it.
Yeah, that was the chance of the round going their way. Just fading out, but Dirk picks up 1. He makes it away. The bomb's planted for him as well. He waits for the peak to come through. Krieg in hand. It's a dangerous weapon. Smoke down, though. He's blocked off, and he can't get out. Ratifaction has to jump through the smoke! No. What a play! He come off the bomb as well! Oh my god, the bullet was so close to his head. If he won that round, I'm out. I'm leaving. There's no way that should have went down the way it did. And KOVA did such a good job of clawing these rounds back, but not being able to convert them just yet. Apeks still, though, they're suffering for it. There is a reward for the terrorist side acting this way. They get a bomb plant. This means that they're going to be able to get a full buyout. And look at Apex's economy. As a matter of fact, not only are they going to be ecoing if they lose this, but they're already showing weaknesses with 2 SMGs making an appearance. So KOVA are actually the team that look better coming into this round, despite Apeks being 4-0 up. Oh, they haven't spotted Akez. What a nice push early on.
Taking sustained damage. Akez in a really strong position, and that's going to be the 1-and-1. Still somewhat favoring KOVA, I feel, but now they have the ramp control. They can transition towards lower quickly if they so choose. I think that Molotov suggesting that they will, and they are going to run with that. Gruz trying to hold it down with the MP9. It's good for the position that he's in, but as soon as he has to peek out and take those long-range battles, might not serve him so well, Mitch.
This is it. Maybe he'll have to peek out because in goes Piatola, but luckily the fight goes his way, leaving the T side with a man advantage and a bomb plant. And this could be it for Apeks. With the money they've got, I think saving is the only option. You'll only have 1 weakness if they can manage to pull that through. Pull all these rifles through to the next round. That looks questionably like that's the play. Ratifaction is backing off. Okay. He was the one that was confusing me because he started to back off, but then moved towards the stairs for a second. And that scared me a little bit. Akez playing exits in a round where they don't have the ability to rebuy that weapon. There's no point whatsoever. They've got a bomb plant. KOVA are going to be comfortable enough in the next. And now they've just lost a rifle. That means Apeks have a weakness. Yeah, as well as that, we saw Marcelius peeking outside when the call should have clearly been there that Akez was coming on the flank, that he had the player caught completely off guard. Marcelius peeking at once, yes, trying to get the player to, you know, you're shouting at him. You're saying, hey, over here, look at me. Well, your buddy comes up behind and gets the kill. But instead, he really commits to that fight. He wants to take the kill and gets taken down for it. 2 huge mistakes by Apeks there, and they're going to suffer heavily for it right now.
And I wonder if that's a symptom of over-eagerness, right? Like, you want to overcompensate. You had a pretty rough first map.
Sure.
Now it's a timeout for KOVA. I think they're very much aware of the economic situation here for Apeks, and they're looking to discuss how they're going to regain this early momentum and this early lead. For now, they're down 3 rounds, so they still have a long way to go. And I think Ratifaction off this money... Oh, okay, this might just be technical. But Ratifaction, he can drop one over.
Now, we got to make sure no one's talking in the tech pauses, guys, okay? It's a gentleman's honor system here. No one talk. But I think you might have hit the nail on the head there with the Marcelius situation there on the peak. You have a rough half. You're winning 1 out of 7 opening duels. You start to get itchy. It happens to us all. You know, you have those games where you're maybe, I don't know, 5 for 10, and you feel like, oh, I need to get some kills, so you play looser, you play more aggressive, and then you get less kills because you're playing looser and more aggressive. But that's a real mental battle to try and stay on top of, to keep yourself playing the efficient game, even if it isn't working, but believe in the setups your team has. And not a lot of players are able to do that, even at a much higher level than this. Not a lot of players are able to say, you know what, I had a terrible game. I didn't get many kills, but we won, and that's all that matters. You know, they'll still feel down a little bit for their own performance.
Now, I wonder if these guys know that. Okay, no, they figured it out. I'm pretty sure. It's like they have technical timeouts they could take. They don't have to waste their actual timeouts. They figured it out. But yeah, this AK, this SG, I think it can serve Apeks well. Right, if Action could drop either an M4 over or maybe double MP9s for one of these players. Now, this is a map that you typically do have options on the CT side, right? Not quite like Inferno, where it's like you're either going for banana control or you're holding down bracket. This map has, you can run secret setups, you can run B bait setups, you can control contest outside, which they've only really done once, but it wasn't hard contesting, right? It's just one person getting behind enemy lines through the smoke with MP9. There are things Apeks can do with limited weapons here that could work well. Or, hey, even something as simple as a lobby crunch as soon as any noise or commitment is happening from KOVA outside is pretty effective.
Yeah, sure. So, like, looking at Apeks, their strat book is definitely not wasted out just yet on the defense, but there is, again, that concerning factor. They need to keep KOVA down. Their CT signs have proven to be very solid for them up against very good level teams. And for Apeks, if they allow KOVA to push up to 5 or 6 rounds, that's where the alarm bells start to ring. That's where the stops have to happen. We saw them go from a 7-2 lead on Mirage to an 8-7 loss on the half. That said, it's going to be much harder to do here on Nuke. Definitely not going to be seeing 8-7s coming out every day of the week. But the change of pace that came through in KOVA's late half game was completely different. And no doubt that's sitting in the back of Apeks' mind as they come into the round where they're slapped the hardest for losing all those players earlier on. Look at what they've got to work with.
Wait,
2 rifles. That's it.
They actually went for the safe route, which is a little surprising because they're not really going to have a good... They're going to have even a weaker of a buy in the next round than they would in this one. So you might as well just force this one and try to reset KOVA. I don't agree with this one,
I think they're probably going to run around. So yeah, no, definitely. Ratifaction could drop an M4 over. All of a sudden, you're looking at 3 rifles, 2 SMGs, maybe even an auto shotgun to hold HUD. No problem. That's a comfortable buy.
Right.
But evidently, Apeks have maybe some players that aren't comfortable playing on the weaker weapons in their positions. The auto shotgun, maybe no one's a specialist. We ain't got any David P's here. I respect it in one sense. It's definitely an avenue that is less frequently taken. It puts a lot of pressure on the rifles. To be honest, you're probably not expecting to win this round, but you're going to want to find at least 3 kills. Make sure KOVA lose a bit of economy. Coming out, that's perfect! There's 2 already. The pistol up close. We had the duel by Ratifaction outside. Now they play a man advantage retake with 2 rifles. This can definitely go their way. You can even try save those 2 rifles and let the pistols try to do the damage, as you're already in a pretty decent spot. But they have a kid on Ratifaction, so why not go for it and see how
it goes out of suicidal lands and 1-for-1 trade. Marcelli is actually suicide. That's not really what you want to see, but it's still down to 2v2, and the weapons, the rifles with armor to survive. The smoke kit play is available, but Peku just maneuvering the site, catching Truth completely off guard. I don't think he was suspecting that he would take such an aggressive angle, but he did. He just stole that round away from them as well. And KOVA, they hold on. It looked a little scary there for a second, especially with that first entry from the 5-7. But they still hold on. Now, mind you, the economy for KOVA is also pretty limited, Mitch.
This is it. Apeks did their job. They found 3 kills. They saved over a Krieg. Every single piece of decision-making there, I think, was perfect. Even Marcellius, I mean, he jumped out. But the thing there, you're pulling whichever player is going to be spraying at Heaven, you're pulling his crosshair further away from the player he has to transfer to after he kills you. After Marcellius looked like a bit of an ass because he died, but he killed himself. But I definitely respect the play. It allowed a little bit more of an opening for those rifles to find it. And that round very nearly goes their way. Probably about as well as I could have realistically imagined it going. Now you come into this. A scout on Marcellius. Perfectly viable weapon on outside, but KOVA have already smoked it. They've gone down into the closer range angles, and this is where Marcellius is going to have a much harder time getting the job done. Piatola's on 10 HP though, so a little bit of an advantage to play with there. KOVA are pushing out, clearing it. They haven't spotted Gus. No problem dealing with him as soon as they do. Smoked out on ramp. Oh, there's a gap. There's a little gap, but it doesn't look like anyone's going to be coming up there to grant Marcelius a kill. And KOVA left with all 5 players alive and the bomb planted on B. It's a hard decision to make for Apeks here, and it looks like it's going to be a save. It's hard, very hard to do when you're in a 4v5 to make that save call.
Yeah, cut to arm, save the body, I guess. Uli, this could actually be destruction. No. That is so savage, Uli. One more kill. He robs them of this next gun round. They need all 3 of these weapons. They need that scout upgraded as well. And I think they will. They will have it at least. But Uli, he actually almost just took that away from them.
If their spacing was a little worse, if they had a second player coming around that corner, no doubt Uli would have caught him off guard as well and possibly found that second kill, like you said, taking that rifle out of their hands and robbed them of the buy round. KOVA have already got the score on the board that they managed a 16-12 loss against Secret on. And building it up this early on is really the concerning point because Apeks have struggled. Look at this buy that's coming through. They're saving up for the next round. It seems like Apeks are constantly looking to the horizon. It's coming soon. Our victory is around the corner. But so far, it has been around a lot of corners, a couple bends and over a highway.
Well said. That is going to be KOVA. Their secret play worked out for them last time. This time they're going to go for it once again. A 1-for-1 trade. One from the upper, one down towards secret. Truth is above on the high ground. Might catch Peku. Oh! Did he not see his head? That's weird. Yeah, that's actually really unfortunate. He's just gone through. Truth does eventually eliminate him. But once again, KOVA, throughout the mid, throughout the chaos, throughout once the dust settles, right? They still have the man advantage. They still own the bomb site. And they're already in the post plan.
The thing there, Gruss going to be so mad that there's a player coming behind him when they have outside control. And Ratifaction is just going to be saying, why is he there? Why of all places? There's only 2 players in the B bomb site. Twixie is 6 HP. If the push came down there, they could have easily overtaken it. But Uli just playing the most frustrating exit of all time. Catches himself a kill. Truth is going to bait him into peeking successfully. Does it. Shadow was on his side. And that's a free Krieg. But still. You know, Apeks finding those 3 kills, there's a certain point where it stops mattering that, oh, you're getting X amount of kills, you're doing this much damage. It's the T side. If you're winning rounds, getting bomb plants, unless you're buying like 4 ops, you don't care. You've got that money, and especially on Nuke, you're building the advantage. Having a tied scoreline at 4-4 is so valuable, because KOVA have so much wiggle room to play with, while Apeks definitely not in the same boat. Look at their money. Again, forced down to Maniko, but finally, here's the full buy. Here's the time we expect to see a big difference from them, and good timing by Marcelius, even full blind. He's able to take the kill onto Uli to finally put Apeks into an advantageous spot.
There it is. That's what we're hoping for, right? These opening picks come into play. Now the round slows down a little bit. I think KOVA is reassessing what they want to do off their... So their early play did not work out. Now the reaction, I think, seems to be, let's start to push outside. Let's start to gain some ground here. Maybe we can get these players to start to creep in. Maybe they push into lobby into us. Nothing happens. It'll just be the wall of smokes. There it is. That's going to draw attention away. They're not quite going to be committing off that. I think they might just send Twixie. But they're doing the renegade smokes, right? Not the typical wall of smoke. This gives different kind of control outside. But based on what they're doing right now, I think this is likely ending into an A hit.
Peku's got a nade out. He needs to throw that before the smoke fades. Akez is just walking through, not looking at him though. Oh my. Peku's just got the freest kill I've ever seen. He had a nade out as a player walks into him. Like, gives him a little bit of a shoulder rub and walks away. And easily finds that connection. Ratifaction returns it and drops the bomb and Squeaky. Twixie coming up behind though. Oh, he's about to have a field day. One player. Oh, the Molotov goes down, but not in time. Hello. Oh, only one. Took a little bit too long on that first kill. It's all down to Ratifaction and Gruss to pull off this 2 versus 1. Piatola will get the bomb planted down on the B bomb site. No one's there quick enough. One down vents, one down secret. They've cleared that out. They know where Piatola is if the bomb gets planted. Ratifaction falls, confirms he's at single door. Up he goes. Piatola not going to catch the angle in time as Gruss picks up an AK and gets a defuse. That is a 5th round on the board for Apeks, but by the narrowest of margins. And they really need to be securing these ones convincingly. Because again, their economy is going to continuously be on the knife's edge as KOVA are buying up again and again.
Right.
And eventually, they're going to slip.
Right, exactly. By the time they break KOVA's economy, Apex's loss bonus is already gone. And if they can't secure that profit, right, they're kind of beginning to struggle. Yeah, KOVA, I mean, these rounds are kind of messy, but somehow working in their favor still. Now, this is a 5-4, right? This is the T side for KOVA. This is their map pick. If they get 4 rounds, 5 rounds, even 6 rounds on this half, they're more than happy and confident in the second half, right? They're ready for it. That's all they want. They want extra room for error. They want some extra rounds in case they lose the pistol, in case they lose the first gun round. As soon as they have that as a safety net, they're good to go. They're confident. Now, this is a downgraded buy. Marcellius' op is now a scout. And the money just... This is kind of the symptom, right, of a broken economy. It's just slowly getting worse and worse. Ruse hopefully drops an M4 over to Kez, which he is. And that should be full rifles up at least with full utility and kits. That will certainly help their defenses. But I really do want to see some change from Apeks, right? We're not really seeing them do anything different. It's just kind of the same standard setup every round.
Yeah, that's it. Right there, we have the AWP on Marcellius peeking in. Obviously, when he doesn't have the scout, he's comfortable playing a little bit more aggressive, so looking in for the A pick off the bat. But again, for me, it's the mid rounds that are really poor for Apeks. You see them take advantages. Same thing happened on Mirage, and all of a sudden you're down to like 2v2s, and you're wondering, how do we get here? How does this happen? And for KOVA, that's what they're relying on. If they can find those late round plays, keep pulling it back into those situations where Apeks are losing 3+ players in a round, whether they win or lose, that's setting them up better for the future if they can just consistently do it. You look for the op pick on outside here. Peku's not spotting anybody out. As time ticks away, smokes go down. Molotov in the bottom of Secret. These are aggressive outside smokes, though. This allows the push to come through towards A. Flashes are completely blocking off any of the CTs, but never mind. Akez finds 2. He's being toe-tapped to death. Trying to jump across, has to do a jig, but he makes it out eventually. Looks for the kill up on top. A little bit too much to ask for there, but still a man advantage to play with for Apeks.
Faction winning such an important battle. Him falling right there would have actually crumbled the defenses. Gruz takes a long-range battle, a bit too much of a commitment. You already have a man up. I mean, you're a 2-man up. That was so unnecessary. You just needed to spot them, keep them contained. Now there's options available for KOVA. Time is running thin though, Mitch. Play needs to happen here, and I think the commitment is going to be towards the A site. And it's a wounded Faction and a truth here to hold it back.
Looking for information here. Apeks have just pushed in through Squeaky. KOVA coming up on the flank. They have Peku behind. He's about to find a free kill. Marcellius has no idea. There's the barrel spotted. There's the... Oh my god, he's missed it. Goes in with the pistol to finish him off. That allows a bomb plan to come through. Has to keep an eye on single door here. Truth is on his way through. Door opens. He's watching the angle. Bang, there's the shot. Faction down. Nade towards the back, but look how low Truth is. Coming through, spots the op. That nade actually finished off down. But no, it's not happening. As Peku finds the final shot with the AWP. Key player on ramp. It's 5-5. And KOVA, again, just equalizing this. That's huge for them to consistently pull this out. And we're waiting for their CT side where we know they're going to get on well. Apeks need to finish this off 10-5. They can't allow any more wiggle room for KOVA.
Yeah, that 2v4 really hurts, doesn't it? I mean, I think this kind of goes in line with what we were saying before, right? Is this kind of over-eagerness from Apeks, this kind of overcompensation effect where they're really trying to win these rounds on their own because they're struggling, because this game is so tight. And it's actually working extremely against them in every way almost. Now they're back down to pistols. KOVA looking for the 6th round. They're already a solid finish here on the T side, even if they lose out. But they have room for more. Let's see if Akez can hold this back, though. 5-7, up close, 60. Nah, puts him to bed. Good night.
This is, again, one of those rounds that we don't expect a lot from Apeks in. It should be fairly boring. They find information. They know where the players are. Push forward and deal with them. It's interesting setups we're looking for. Apeks have got a push from Faction. Clearing it. Losing quite a lot of HP on Oli, but once he doesn't die, it's all good. Moving out of the bomb site. Plan should be for free as both players are towards the ramp area. And for Apeks at the moment, I feel like one of their issues there when it comes to the late round is just the lack of comfort on this map. We're seeing again and again, KOVA are able to exploit that. They have their smokes on secret. Once they find a kill down there or clear it out, Apeks then get worried. The ramp player can be flanked out from just the standard push through radio, or indeed from down on the B bomb site. You saw Marcellius in the previous round committing fully to B, but he had no idea that the player could simply walk up behind him. As they'd lost outside, they'd lost radio control. The player pushed through, I don't know who it was, but he pushed Squeaky to try and regain a bit of control towards radio. and make sure Marselius was safe, but it was the outside push that got them. And there's just so many holes in the defense where they don't have eyes on certain parts of the map, and so far KOVA have been really good at deciding where they're most likely to be able to just waltz in for free.
It's a little, I feel like it's a little concerning to me how little flexibility has, sorry, excuse me, English is really hard for me today. How little flexibility Apeks has today in terms of how they're approaching this, right? We still haven't seen anything, we haven't seen the secret plays, like someone going secret, holding it down early, crossing over. There it is, now we're finally seeing that play. It's Marselius this time around. Now he has the AWP, he's in a good position to do so. Again, this position is known, right, for the multi-frags, right? So many clips have come out of this position. Maybe not as aggressively as Marselius is holding it. He does have support, too, from Mekez, who has a flash. So he could always peek a little deeper if he wants to, off the flashbang.
Out she goes and drops down. Akez abandoning the hole towards outside from heaven. He's instead playing down on the bomb site itself. KOVA seem to be setting up at the moment for an A push, so this reinforcement could definitely help out. Smoke's going over on outside. This is playing out very much as a fake. Marselius drops the smoke of his own, and that's going to hurt them because now they've got no info. They think they've just stopped an outside rush through the secret with the smoke that went down, with the molly that was thrown, but no, they haven't. Instead, they're about to spot out a couple into a sneaky door. Ratifaction goes out for one, and that's all he gets. Traded out immediately afterwards. Akez in with another, trying to get back to the bomb site, but Piatolla's quick on the reaction to trade him out. Smoke in towards heaven. It's all they can muster on the T side, and the last of their vision and map blocking utility. Only the flashes remain. The peek from Piatolla was very aggressive, trying to catch them off guard, but sadly they were aware of it, or ready for it, I should say. A 2 versus 3 player coming up through heaven. That's Marselius. He's got an AUG in hand. Oldie's waiting for a push through that smoke, and he's going to get it in just a second. His position given away, though. It's all down to Twixie. Hasn't been having the best of games so far, but certainly warming up in the last couple rounds. Truth deals with him quickly, and AWP saved through. And Apeks have found themselves a 6th round. But again, a narrow margin defines it. And we end up in a position where we can very easily see Apeks, with the reinvestment that has to come through, back into an eco should they lose. KOVA on 6 rounds aren't going to be complaining. They've already got more than enough.
Right. Yeah, I can't help but agree with that. Now, you're absolutely right, I think, in terms of economy. Like, I'm not on the Apeks team, and I'm stressed out by the situation that they're in consistently. So I can only imagine what they're feeling to always be on the edge of a potential reset or a double reset here. That's going to be fast play for KOVA. Just switching up the pace. Marselius going for the spam. Not quite as successful. And actually, everyone's managed to make it down the vents. 4 people have made it safely down the vents, not taking a point of damage. This is scary already for Apeks. Let's see if you can hold back against this. Molotov will push him back. And the bomb will soon be planted. Paku! Ooh, okay.
He's cut off. This is still fine once they can delay time, but Akez manages to find another. Twixie needs this kill. They've got to slow them down. The push comes out with the flashbang. Twixie's relocated, but he's being spotted. Finds one before the trade comes through, and it's all down to Piatolla in a 1v2. Flash is good. AWP's trying to peek him, though, and he knows he's in the right corner. There's no way out, really, at the moment. The smoke goes through. A jump around, and he misses the shot, but Marselius finishes him off. Just about getting that defuse in. Really solid play to realize there could be an AWP holding him and jump around that. Marselius caught completely off guard. I also want to say, I'm going to go back and watch that, because Marselius shot as they were pushing out, you know, going for the spam through the vents. I don't see how he missed that. There were, like,
I think he was still moving.
It could have been, but they were literally covering the whole area. It must have went through, like, the 1 pixel where there was nobody.
Yeah, exactly. That was really unlucky. I was thinking the same thing. That's so funny. Sometimes they just be like that, man. Sometimes your enemy is just having a good day. Down.
I'm looking at the tab bar. I'm like, oh, he shot. Okay, who did he hit? 100, 100, 100. What? Like, wait. Rewind a second.
Yeah, that's why I was emphasizing. Like, dude, they made it down the vents, not taking a point at, like, usually when someone runs at you, taking, you know, 50,
for sure.
100 damage across, you know, spread across the team, but they got nothing that time. The flashbang's gonna push these players back. They're pressuring hard. They're starting to flood all over. A 1-for-1 trade, a Mac 10 for a rifle. That's not bad. Now a second man advantage flows for KOVA. Marselius is still down below. They know he's here, and they're just gonna run around him. They don't have to contest. They're gonna take the heaven position. Now it's just down to the vents.
They didn't clear the close left, though. That's a problem. Not even looking towards the vents, but Peku immediately deals with him on the ump. Ratifaction and Marselius have got to pull it all back. Smoke goes down. Ratifaction is going to be pushing through that. You know by him that he's going to. He'll catch them off guard with this. Peku up close, eliminated. Now down to a 1 versus 2, though, as his teammate has fallen. Poor old Marselius not having the easiest of times. Going down, tapping the defuse. It's a 10-second no-kit. Player comes out, and immediately Piatola is deleting him. Saving a Krieg forward there, ×2, and 7-7. I will say, we said, I believe you said on the previous map, that this seems like the kind of series where you say, this is what's going to happen, and the exact opposite does. I said, it's not every day you see an 8-7 on Nuke at the very beginning. Apparently it is. Here we go again.
Let this be a lesson to casters. Never make predictions.
Exactly.
No, it's going to be a fast play here for KOVA. I think they're very much aware of the economics situation for Apeks. You can see by just their raw confidence right now, taking those battles outside, not being afraid to cross over to Secret early. And Peku and Dirtcaps, although they've went really fast, don't think they've been spotted. As I'm saying that, they have not been spotted. Ken off angle with 5-7. A perfect position to be in, but only good for 1. And once again, KOVA find themselves in a man advantage. Marcelius the timing is unfolding poorly for Apeks. And a bit of timing and a bit of lack of information, right? They're not really keeping tabs too well on what KOVA's up to.
This is it, man. That's what we were saying earlier on. KOVA are just consistently finding the holes in the defense where Apeks are getting caught off guard. Not too familiar with the map. They've actually played it a decent amount. Matter of fact, in terms of officials, they've played it more than KOVA have. 3-2. But all fairly locally. Playing Nordavind, Copenhagen Flames. Some team I'm not going to try to pronounce the name of. As the push comes out, Marselius is on a wallbang headshot day. Fair enough. A little bit more work to do, though. Pistols pushing through. Marselius is deleted by the AK of Piatola. Booming out. Very low HP, but he even finds that kill as they push through. He had support from Twixie, so it's all good. It's acceptable. 8-7. The T side have won it out. KOVA pretty much rinse and repeating the previous half, just not giving them a 7-2 lead. Was a little bit more scrappy. What a convincing performance this has been so far. Now on their CT side. And remember, this is where every team's going to feel more solid. But especially KOVA. They've picked it. They've historically been a better CT team by a huge margin. And this seems like it's just too much of a boost for Apeks to come back from.
Now there are these, and again, this is a prediction. Haha, don't make predictions, strong legs, but there are some usual circumstances where this map is sometimes oddly T-sided, where teams just get into some sort of flow and they just seem like everything they're doing is kind of ahead. And this might just be the case, but let's see what KOVA has right here for us. They're a man up, they're holding back against the B defenses, they're spotting several players, and they do have players here keeping these tokens down, but it's going to be Piatola. 1 for 1. Secret now beginning slowly in the control of Apeks.
They need those kills here. Ratifaction with 1. There's the second. Secured observation room. And that is huge. Ratifaction and Truth left alive. Down goes Truth. It's all on Rat. He's got to find himself an ace clutch. 1 versus 2. Smoke down. Defuse underway. Shots land. And he finds the kill. But now inside the smoke, he's got his top away.
No!
He sees the leg and he gets it. But unfortunately, not in time. The defuse has come through. An ace for Ratifaction. And they lose the round. That is heartbreaking on a whole nother level.
Wow, that is so upsetting. Ratifaction played that to perfection, so he jumped out. He knew that if he got on that low ground far to the right, he actually would be able to see him, and he did. But he could not hit that headshot in the first 3 bullets. Man, that is unfortunate. And Apeks, they buy up. This is their break, right? This is their potential ticket into this early momentum here in this half. You have almost... Actually, you kind of do have better weapons in the T side, or the CT side, rather. MP9s for Mosses who don't have kits, limited utility already for KOVA. And you have AKs, you have a scout, you have these rifles. They take these battles long range, and they've gotten the opening pick. This could be their getaway. This could be their ticket back into this game, back into the lead.
Could just be. They've got to deal with Uli as they move through Secret, though. He was spotting them for just a second, now decides to fall back and play the Vents angle. Wrapping around. Plenty here for him to fight, but he's not able to win it as Truth eliminates him. That's the B control. Pretty much lost. Gross is in danger and taken out by a FAMAS. 3v4. Apeks have lost 1 player, but it's not the end of the world. They have the B bomb site and should get a plant down anytime now. Truth was being very careful. When he says it's clear, he wants to make sure that he's not lying.
Yeah, they're saving
and
already.
it's going to be just the same. You know, it's the right call. Like, look at the weapons they've got. 2 FAMAS. They've got plenty of utility and AK. you don't want to throw them away for a retake that's probably not going to go your way.
Yeah, and the 10-second defuse does not inspire confidence whatsoever, so can't blame them.
Very.
Apeks, though. Maybe that's just their break. They will have to get through one more buy, though, right? I think KOVA here will drop over some weapons to who they can. Probably MP9s or Mag 7s. Maybe Deagles and Armor instead. We shall see, but Apeks. This is great. Convert one more round. Convert the eco after. Boom. You're back in.
Certainly a rough road if they're not too familiar with the map, though. From what we saw on their CT side, that seemed to be the case. But also, one thing I want to point out is that Marsalius had a really rough time. When he was playing on that scout, or indeed when he got the op out, it seemed like he was constantly being put in positions where KOVA were able to exploit him. They were pushing down angles that he wasn't making aware of. They were jumping around corners and catching him off guard. Now he gets to choose the battles that he takes with it. And I think that'll actually yield a much better result for him. Usually, I wouldn't say, you know, an Opera will fare better on the T side than the CT on Nuke, but considering the fact that there seemed to be a lack of comfort there, and indeed a difficulty for Apeks to cover the map in general on their CT side, I think we're in for a little bit more of a threatening op presence.
Renegade smokes outside. This is a great wall of smokes, right? Gives them access to the big garage if they so choose. I think they're just going to go right through. Now they own big garage. A big part of the outside control, right? Usually for the CT side. Now they can begin to pressure. They can look for the battles in hell, above. They can look for the players in mini. And if they want, they can easily transition back to secret. Right now, it's Twixie off-angled in mini. Uli down towards hell, holding it down with a deagle.
Start, but Twixie wins it. Not able to get away with that a second time. Deagle spamming away. Uli very close to getting a kill. Marcellus lit to 21. One shot by most weapons now. KOVA have got the opportunity as Akez pushes through. Tagged by the shots. They were all lined up there for a little bit of damage, but nothing to be connected on. And Dirk gets lit down very low. You can see how quickly he's dealt with. It's a headshot by Trude, so the HP didn't really matter either way. A 2 versus 2, I would be surprised if they don't go for this, even with the AK in play. With 11 HP, there's a lot of positives, a lot of negatives to going for this. I think probably you allow Uli to skirmish and see what he can find, and then if he lands a kill, go in for it. So they're going to move towards outside. Kitola's going up. Okay, so they're definitely going to commit to this. There's a nade in hand. Akez is quite low. That nade won't yield anything, though.
Yeah, time is.
They now know where both players are. This is the information on that. Oh, what?
That works out.
Kitola dropped down and found it. So the thing, my issue there was that the nade went down from Kitola in heaven, right? So they know where he is. They heard Uli stepping outside. So all the info to play with for Apeks, and yet they lose that. With good positions, time very low, color me surprised.
And that's kind of what happens when you allow the deagles and scouts to tag you heavily, right? This time it wasn't a scout, it was just the deagles. Like, they're just getting tagged down slowly but surely. Yes, they weren't fatal kills early, but as soon as it's time to commit to that site, you're getting finished off quickly by those rifles, and the other deagles are waiting for you. Now it's Peku looking for the tags outside. KOVA has stolen away what was supposed to be at least the early lead, the early momentum, the win to carry Apeks through this match. Now they're taking a lot of damage, and now the numbers have evened up, and Dirk kept the Savage just pushing straight into lobby. This is my room. You guys are just renting it.
That is huge by Dirk. That double kill puts them massively ahead. Apeks now having to recover from it with the little map control they gained for it. Down through Secret, Gruss is trying to get aggressive. But KOVA are playing passively on the B bomb site. You can see Twixie's just tucked in, hoping that they push on through without checking him and they'll get a free frag. 1 minute left on the clock. Plenty of time. I presume the glass is still intact down there. They'll have to break it through. There we go. Now he can be worried about his right side as the glass is broken. Double smokes. He's isolated completely. The molly on the return, though. That's huge coming through from Peku. Dropping the molly to save his teammate and make the kill very easy to find. Marsalius has got it all to do. 1 versus 2. Bomb in his control. And he suspects maybe they're both towards the ramp or on the flank down. He's going to gamble and go up through the vents. And Ford, he'll find himself a completely open A site. Look at KOVA. Now realizing their mistake, they start to back off. If he was going to go for B, he would have planted by now.
This is a perfect play from KOVA. I think their forward timing here on this double push out heaven is going to work wonders for them. And they're already starting to creep out. Dirkevs is making his way. Mark's completely unsuspecting. And he thought he had him outplayed. But they're the hunters here, Mitch. And it is KOVA once again denying Apeks any opportunity, any leg room here to actually get anything going. And it's 11-8.
Again, very convincing performance from KOVA. We knew from the start that their T side was dangerous. When you see a terror side go past 6 rounds, you've got to be very concerned because you have let the ball go. You have let it slip. And now as we go into a 3-round advantage with just pistols to play for Apeks, it looks like it's about to look a whole lot worse. KOVA holding down, actually quite aggressively, maybe not having too much of a read of what they're up against. Spams and nades ringing through. But overcome the nades, and Apeks will just be blitzing out onto the A side.
Jesus, that was spam. They're just destroying the spam. And they have a player down the bench. Nothing is going well right now for Apeks. Anything they try to do, he just gets shut down. A consolation here. That's an op that could be picked up. I think he's going to get hunted, though. And he doesn't even get the op either, so it's... They don't even need to hunt. They just wait.
That's a really big brain play, though, by Uli. As soon as he realizes that they're back up behind there, there's no contact ramp, nothing outside, he goes down the fence, knowing that with an aggressive smoke coming through, that's where they're going to be hitting. And even if they don't go down vents and they move towards the bomb site, he can come up behind them and flank them. It's a really valuable position to hold, not allowing them to slip away and potentially get a bomb plant. And 12-8, you can see the benefit of that. Look, there's barely any utility on a lot of players. Aggressive peek to come through from Ratifaction. Things are getting desperate, but he's not able to find it with the op. Giving it over to Marcelius. Hell of an A-King now to work with.
A slow round here for Apeks. I think they're beginning to run out of answers, Mitch. Doesn't seem like they know exactly how to approach this anymore. Now they're going to lose a number. Walking slowly into the op is not something you want to do. And you can just already see the difference, right, between how KOVA is approaching their defense and how Apeks is approaching their defense. They already got that secret opper. They already got that player in secret kind of controlling the outside, looking for that early pick. Now they walk into off-angled Uli, and actually sometimes he gets destroyed, even though he has the jump every time. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's upsetting. When you get that first bullet off, you don't find the kill. KOVA holding down with the man disadvantage. Looks like they might be getting a free one there with Piatola tucked up. But no, Piatola's taken down quite quickly. Dealt with on outside. Dirk in with one, but shot in the back. And it's all down to Peku. Trying to make it work as he moves in. He's here in the bomb plant. Being tapped on. Coming towards single door, but he doesn't want to go through Squeaky. Open it up, give away his position, and lose an AWP. Matter of fact, he doesn't want to lose an AWP at all. So out he goes, saving towards the terrorist spawn, and leaving Apeks to claim themselves in 9th, put themselves 3 behind KOVA. The money is still struggling for Apeks, but with the bomb plant, they should be fine for the next round. As in the KOVA camp, that's similarly true. They can get an okay force buyout. Decent enough. Especially with the AWP carried forward.
Yeah, and there's no reason not to go for it, right? Like, the money for Apeks is still pretty vulnerable.
That's it. Like, you don't want to leave yourself in a position where you're not able to buy in the next, but sometimes that gamble is worth it. And with Apeks, just keep an eye on that cash. There's going to be barely any of it left by the time they buy up. That means if KOVA win, they're 14-9. So force buy here, I think, is indisputably the way to go.
No, they don't agree.
Whoa. All right, maybe not indisputably. First time I've used that word.
And
usually I'm looser, but I get punished for it.
It's all right, Mitch. Sometimes we have thoughts and they have different thoughts, and that's all right. And sometimes Dirkevs gets an opening pick with the Max 7, and he gets an upgrade to the AK-47 off that. Things are already unfolding well. Now, Peku's position inside the lobby is really limited the movement here for Apeks, and I think that pretty much means that they're very much aware that this is outside control. What? Did you
Was
just
he
99?
by that mag?
Yeah. You just 99'd him from mini to secret.
Like, what is this game? What are the shotguns? It feels like up close they do 10 damage, but from far away, whack a scope on that mag 7. Sure, for a field day. 1 HP. That's so upsetting. Piatola can actually get a free kill now. Never mind. I was thinking he could. With the 1 HP, obviously you can shoot him from across the map and probably still take him down. Well, with the max 7, you probably do 2,000 damage from across the map. But Uli up close, not going to be catching them off guard either. Apeks being very systematic as they move forward, clearing all their angles. Don't want to give away a free kill. Still need a lot of faith then for poor old Twixy, tucked in the corner, hoping to do the same. And indeed, they do. Shutting him down. Nice shot by Peku. He bails back. 1v3. Look how low they are.
Right.
If this was an M4, an AK, I would believe in it. But with the AWP, again, it's just too precious of a resource to commit.
Yeah, not only just that, but the AWP doesn't discriminate based on health, right? It doesn't care whether you have 1 HP or 100 HP. So that means these are very well just full healthy players to the AWP. So not quite the chances he's looking for. And Apeks still holding on. But that was just a hero AWP, right? They didn't really have anything. They had the max 7, a couple pistols, very minimally invested, looking for this next round buy. And Apeks still barely got out with 3 players.
The fact that they survived with 3, this is probably one of the best. Oh no. Truth. I was a little bit worried there. See, the positions they're in, if you look at where Gruss is, pushed all the way back, sometimes if the bomb is planted on the other side of the silos, you can see the damage being done, because he didn't push all the way back, all the way into T-spawn. But it's fine. It worked out. It was just fine for him. I don't know, if I had 1 HP, I'd be trying to load a different map to save that. But
Right, I'm full sprinting, like as far away from the bomb as possible. Topples Marcellus. He spots another player that actually can. Oh no. That smoke actually denied Becky the opportunity to take a second duel, but that's not a big deal. It's still the safer option. There to eliminate Struth. Ratifaction is out fence. Hey, there's only one more player here. Actually, no, Heaven players arrived as well. Peku.
Oh! He did it! Oh, he thought it was clear. I don't know. Dirk deals with him. I'm sorry. Like, Apeks, just sit down. There's nothing you can do. You gotta just accept that round. Like, what you do when a guy just spams your teammate to death? That was so perfect.
I literally don't think I've ever seen that before.
Nope.
Not this
the calls. The comms must have been insane. They must have said,
no,
I think there's one tucked in.
He sees his barrel through the fence, dude.
Oh, did he? Oh, no.
Oh, CSGO, please. Valve, please, I beg you.
So broken, man.
Oh, man, that's actually really unfortunate. KOVA just stole that away in the most unusual fashion. Now it's Apeks, 10 rounds on the board here, just deagles. No smokes, no flashes, no mollies. Just their sidearm and the hand cannon, that's it.
Oh, if you end up on 14-10 because someone saw your barrel through a wall, you're just about ready to uninstall. Oh. Nice frag, though, on the outside. Let's try pull it back now. Use the broken handguns. The one-shot headshots. So satisfying when you get it with the deagle.
It really is one of the most satisfying weapons. Oh, wait. That's
apparently you get it with the P250 as well.
Yeah, sick. This is a sick game. Now, this is looking a lot more convincing than their gun rounds have looked. Now, there, Keps. He might have different plans in mind. He's not really liking his odds of just sitting there. He's going to push right in, but right on the other side of that wall. And that's another pick now. Now, Vitola does eliminate a catch, so they know that one of 2 players is down below. Marcellus completely destroys Twixy. That's the ace site. That's a round that Apeks should have no business winning, Mitch. They had nothing. Deagles and armor on 3 players. That's it. And it's looking more convincing than any of the gun rounds they've had so far in this half.
I don't know about this half. I think even in this game, if they survive with 4 players, on this map at least, it's really solid for them. Just buy deagles. It's all you need. Maybe that's what KOVA were trying to get into on the start of Mirage, just force buying all the time. This is the gem they were looking for. But it looks like it's only for Apeks. 13-11. And really solid stuff coming through from Apeks. Again, exactly like you said, not a chance they should have won this round. Maybe 2 to 3 kills would be decent. Would be good, actually, but they pushed the boat out completely.
Yeah, my thoughts are they haven't had success with weapons in full utility. Why would they have success with deagles and armor and no utility?
Going on outside as well. The one part of the map that if you've got pistols, you're kind of assuming your opponents are going to be winning. That's theirs to control, right? They can do whatever they can walk out there with the backs turned. You're probably not going. But they just rush out with deagles, go up on top of Marshmallow, jump down, and Gruss is having no problems popping heads.
All Marcelli takes an opening kill he finds. That's Peku eliminated, one of the hard hitters here in this map for KOVA. Patola's position does worry me. He is in a very strong position here, holding down the mini. Uli drops down below to War Secret to reinforce the defenses to not allow Gruz any extra space. The headshot angle, the deagle, not something you generally want to mess with. But Gruz is able to cross off that. And I don't think Uli spotted him.
That was a great nade. No, like that pushed Uli down. He didn't want to take the damage. Gruz pushes him at the perfect time and catches him off guard. It's rare, like nades in this game are generally used to just hit someone, make them a little squishier, easier to kill when you take an aim duel. But it's rare you see them used to actually push someone off an angle that early on when they've got full HP. And seize map control. It's nice.
Yeah, it is nice. Well played. And he held down the vent rotates too, so that was literally could not have been any better there from Apeks. So finally, we are seeing some signs of life. You know, better late than never, Mitch.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Like we saw from KOVA over on Mirage first half, they had a huge comeback. They were 7-2 down, finished 8-7 up. No reason that it can't be done here for Apeks to pull it all the way through. KOVA had a decent T side. They can do exactly the same as the buy round comes through pretty flawlessly for the moment. Until it's saving, so confirmed. All 5 weapons alive. 4 players alive with pistols. 5 alive coming into the rifle round. You got a lot of money now built up for Apeks because of that. They're only reinvesting into utility, and with bomb plants, it almost pays for itself. The timeout through. This is going to be KOVA calling it. And I think it's a good time to take this one. Take a breather, figure out what's been going wrong, because moving into this buy round, this is their last chance. Kiatola should be buying an AWP and donating it over. He's got 5.2k and already everything he could want, with the exception possibly of a nade or a Molotov. He's bought a Molotov and can't afford an op. What if Peku glass cannons this? Okay, good. So they're just not going to take an op.
Interesting. They're not going to.
They would rather a Molotov than an op. I don't know what I'm watching, but I'm willing to give it a shot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are they gonna wait? Are they gonna light buy? I don't think they're gonna full buy. Yeah, they're gonna just take pistols.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying there. I don't think they're going for the buy here at all. Now, I guess they do have one round. Okay, so I suppose the argument is Apeks can't be broken. Their economy is too strong. There's really no reason to force up with limited weapons. The only problem is now you give away this round potentially to Apeks, who will be at 13, and then you force at 13-13, or you buy, excuse me, at full buy at 13-13, but that means that you're ecoing the 14th, which allows Apeks to potentially clinch map point for free if you can't win the next gun round. I actually don't like this. I would prefer the buy now, save the next, and then buy again at 14-13, but
we've seen both teams just completely disregard the weaker weapons when it comes to like the auto shotgun play on main, on HUD. We haven't seen it once. They don't deploy it. And right there, that would have been the prime time to do it. They would have had 4 weapons. Sorry, three weapons. They could have got an AWP. They could have gotten 2 M4s out around it. And then a solid investment into the likes of those kind of bonus weapons. Oh, Twixie's pushed past the molly without making a sound. Hello, free AWP. I'll take you. A knife kill as well.
No.
He's picked up the op. Oh no, that's not what you like to see. They've taken the pistols and it's working for them so far. There's the kill under Ratifaction as Truth and Akez have to pull it all back. Molotov went down towards single as Akez looks for the player on ramp and lands it. Piatola's down. Twixie's got support here. They know there's a player on the bomb site. They know where Akez is, but I'm not sure that they have the info on Truth.
Yeah, this is incredibly awkward. They still have some utility, though, that they can use to get themselves out of the scenario, but it'll be Dirkat from the side to eliminate Akez, leaving Truth all by himself now. And there's Twixie with that picked up from earlier, and it's 14-12, a round that they had no business winning. This is such a sloppy game, Mitch. This is the most unpredictable game by far that I have personally ever watched in Counter-Strike history.
That's strong legs. Who's flipping the coin for who's going to win this round? Is it us or do they do it? I don't know what's happening.
Seriously,
I'm missing
man.
some part of the process. This isn't Counter-Strike. This doesn't make sense. I'm enjoying it. The economic decisions have been weird. They've been hard to keep track of. I guess just different than what we normally see a team do in this kind of situation. And maybe it's because they're just not comfortable playing that extra level. Like we said, the likes of the auto shotgun that most tier 2 to 1 teams will deploy because it's such a strong gun. But I guess a lot of players maybe just don't like using it. They're set in their ways, and hell, why not? 14-12. Aggressive smokes outside. Apeks close to Uli. They're moving in. Gaining that control, now the Heaven player is going to be in danger. We need to see Apeks tighten it up a little bit. Like, what's going on there? You know they can push into Garage. Just complete disregard for that position.
A little careless. Apeks now with a man advantage. Pytola looking to take things into his own hand. I think he spotted the gun barrel. Yeah, he definitely has now. And that's going to be Ratification as well as the equalizer into the round. Now with 50 seconds left and only the outside control, Apeks needs to begin making their move. Marsalius is looking for the opening pick here. He's peering in towards the A site. He's looking for that kill with the op. But the position here is not quite known. There's 2 players here. They eliminate Twixy. They probably don't expect Durkeps to be here, Mitch.
Yeah, this could be huge. He's got one there off the bat. Goes around for more and gets it. They've no idea where the other player is. Piatola up in heaven. Oh, he's spotted though, and Marsalius gets the shot.
Why?
14-13.
What?
Look, asking why is the wrong thing here. We should have learned this by now. We got to take it as it is. Like, I don't understand the start of that round. Peku's got the op. He's in heaven. Smokes go down aggressively. Uli can't see anything. Peku can't see the cross, but they can cross close to Smokes. Where's the communication? No, not even that. He himself should know, okay, they can peek me. Like, they can come through Garage because I can't see the cross, and he just holds the smoke. What is that about?
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot to question in these rounds, no doubt about it.
Like, 100%, in my mind, he wasn't even in heaven anymore. He was dropped to hell looking at the Garage push. And then I look at the mini-map, and I'm like, wait, he's not still out there. He's not. But he is. And he got domed.
Yeah, he got destroyed. And okay, I'm not going to take it away. Marsalius did hit a good shot. He played that out well. But I mean,
100%.
Why are you jiggling heaven when he doesn't know where you are? Just either swing or wait.
Yeah.
Pytola defends with the MP9. Going through a smoke inside the trophy room. It does go 1 for 1. That does give them access to the ramp room, and it forces one player from KOVA to at least have to reinforce it or keep eyes on it in some way or another. And there are 3 players here defending A site, by the way. There's no one outside. No one keeping tabs on the heaven wrap. No one holding down secret. If Apeks walks into this, they're essentially losing to the gamble stack.
100%, man. This is it. Sometimes it works out when you leave those parts of the map unchecked. We saw for Apeks, it never worked out. KOVA just had that 300 IQ. They knew what was being left unchecked, but now the smoke goes down. They're not coming through outside. The CTs already know that. Could filter through from Uli, swing out from Dirk, and they don't know this in SM. Well, they do now because they just heard it shoot. He went down dabbing full blind, but it doesn't matter. Dirk finishes it off with a beautiful 3K, and it's 15-13. Map and series point here, as Apeks have fallen behind on their map pick, and now 2 down on KOVA's. On the T side, the harder one to work with, and their best hope now is to bring it to an overtime, and then a 3rd map. Not the brightest of futures for them. Luckily, their economy isn't looking too dark, too dim. But there will still be weaknesses coming out, and this is not the time for weaknesses. Although, we did see them destroy when they had Deagles, so...
Yeah, they have a little more than Deagles this round, at least. But 15-13, and the crazy thing about this situation is that KOVA's actually not quite out of the woods either, right? Yes, they have at least match and series point clinched. They have no way to lose in this regulation, overtime or win, which is a solid position to be in. But their economy is on the edge of breaking. Apeks are really just 1 round away from a potential overtime, as long as they can convert this round and the next. And they have a decent artillery to work with. They have AK-1 single, Galil, Deagle, for Ikez for that little running gun, and of course the op for Marsalius with full utility. So options definitely available, but I am concerned with the SG double AKs for KOVA, full utility, full kits. This is a hard round.
They call it pause, and Marsalius decided to take the AWP, or the team decided that they would rather have Marsalius with an op and full AK. Utility than an extra AK, yeah, and leave him down to a rifle. So they're obviously putting a lot of faith in that scope, something they didn't do when it came to Mirage. So a lot of the time they were even avoiding going for that scope by. Looking at outside, you can see Marsalius got boosted up there to start it off. Might get a boost above that smoke as well, but the looks of the player jumping beside him. It's up on top of red that they're going to go. Not spotting anyone out just yet. Marsalius is the point man. He's the one to do the damage right now. He's been given that weapon. Very valuable. It's a huge resource allocation. One of his teammates is on a Deagle because of it. For KOVA, there's no weaknesses. They've lost control of outside, but happy to play it passive, one would hope. With Uli in position in the garage. He swings out, he spots one. He's seen the rifle there, I think.
Yeah, he did. He saw the shoulder as well. But they are aware that Apeks is quietly outside. Now the fallback from Apeks, just walking back completely. And this is suggesting that either they go off Radifaction's control towards Trophy Room, or they explode upper. But last time they did that, it didn't quite work out well. So I think they're routing straight towards the ramp. I think that's Paitola down below. He's in a really good position for this.
He's going to hear the utility popping off in just a second. Needs to back off, breaking the window to get on into observation room. They're going to concede the control. Apeks looking to maybe bring it towards Hell, but they back down. They're going through the ramp. Paitola, they'll spot the glass that's broken. They'll know that he's around this area as they move on forward. Bomb being planted. Does he go forward on it? He has to now. It's glaring behind him, and he gets himself one. Now the team going to be rotating down, but they're catching Paitola off. There's no one to reinforce. Going in for the retake, and Dirk finds an opening. I think he just spotted Radifaction's head as well.
Now Dirkeps has been shut down, and he's one of the hard hitters for KOVA, so it's down to the 3 versus 3. Control available for KOVA, but control is not enough. They need to start gaining some ground. Twixie trying to buy himself some space. He will get eliminated by Radifaction. Time is running out. I think Peku, Uli, they're not liking their money. They're not liking their chances here in this round. And Apeks, they do hold on for the 30th round here. The 14-15, the final round of regulation. And Peku, this is just consolation at this point. Not a huge deal, but if he loses this off, that's going to cost him a lot more. And now he doesn't have it. That's all they have. That AK, maybe FAMASas, maybe MP9s, Deagles and armor right here. And Apeks have put themselves in a pretty good scenario to at least contest overtime.
I feel like, again and again, we are missing so much discipline in this game. We've seen both teams go, oh, we have no money for the next round. Hell, let's just play exits. What are you doing? Why? There's no point. Okay, yeah, Apeks could have been a little bit weaker if you kill every single player. Is it worth it to play this round without an op? You've got an AK, you've got pistols. Even if it works out, it was not worth it. It was the wrong call. Again and again, you just see it.
What do we know, Mitch? You and I are silvers, okay? We're silver casters.
Absolutely, dude. I haven't even unlocked it.
Out in the open, does get eliminated. That's the only rifle that they had in play. Their Geps might have something up his sleeves right here. Peku actually finds one as well. Twixie coming out with a 5-7. Oh. Not like this. It's all down to truth. And there is Dirkeps, the pillar of consistency for the Finnish side throughout the series. And they claim the round in what was not supposed to be a round for KOVA. Ends up being theirs anyway, Mitch. What the heck just happened, and how have we gotten here into this 2-0 for KOVA?
You know, this is where I would love to have the ability, without me on it, to say, now let's throw it over to our analyst desk and see what they have to make of that. And it's going to be a 1-hour segment. That was crazy. Like, we were back and forth constantly. We're rounds where we watch a lot of Counter-Strike, right? Strong Legs, we know Counter-Strike pretty well. There's rounds where you just say, they're not going to win it, because 99 times out of 100, they don't. Here, it was like 99 times out of 100, they do. It didn't make sense.
It made no sense. That is actually one of the most unusual games that I have personally seen. And wow, what a series this has been. The 2-0 for KOVA. I mean, this was a 50-50 match from the get-go, right? We didn't really expect a 2-0 in either direction. I think we were both leading for a 2-1 in either way. But KOVA, the Finnish side, look impressive as ever. So congratulations for being the final team to make themselves into the semifinals of our EU division. But that is the conclusion here for us. Commiserations, of course, to Apeks. They have been amazing to watch. Hope to see them again in the future. Of course, it wasn't their best day, and that's sometimes how it goes here in Counter-Strike, Mitch. Sometimes your enemy is just having a good day, and sometimes you get eliminated. But we are out of here. And before we go, please do follow our socials: Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Literally anything that you have, we're also there on you to provide you with awesome content, fresh and original, and of course to give away some skins and to give away some 1 terabyte SSDs for all of your anime and frag highlight clips needs that you could possibly imagine. And of course, follow this beautiful man right here. His ad's down below, and mine is here as well. And our producer observer Melanie, she does an amazing job behind the scenes. But for now, we are out of here, and we'll see you soon tomorrow, bright and early, for some EU action for the semifinals.